Welcome back. So in this video we're going to learn how to format text. So we're going to learn how to format text characters. We're going to learn also how to align text. Then we're going to learn how to use the Format Painter tool, which I talked about the other time when we're using cut, copy and paste. So I told you we're still going to come back to it, the Format Painter tool. We're going to learn how to use that. So I want to talk about font, because right now we're going to learn how to make use of the fonts on the Word application. Okay, we're going to learn how to increase font size, and we're going to learn how to apply some character formatting. Okay, so these are things that we're going to be learning. We'll add some effects to some of the text we're looking at here, and somebody is going to ask, what is font? Font describes typeface of characters on screen and in print. Okay, so what font does is to give a typeface to the characters that you have on your Word document. Okay, so this particular text you're looking at now has a typeface. You understand? So, and the current font of the text on this document is Calibri. Look at it here. That's the name of the font that we're currently using. Okay, so what we want to do is to learn how to change those fonts. You understand what I'm saying? How to change the fonts to other fonts. We're going to be learning that shortly. And what I can use to describe font is letterings. There are different letterings that people know and all that. So fonts are like letterings. So if I click here now, you're going to see different letterings. You understand what I'm saying? Okay, see them, different ones. Okay, different letterings. So that's what we call font. Okay, so it's like a typeface of the characters you have here. Do you understand? So, and whatever you see here is what you're going to have on your paper when you print it. So when you apply a particular font to a text, the way it looks on the screen is the way it's going to look on the paper. So you need to know that. So we also have the font size. That refers to the height of characters. So currently the font size of this text that we're looking at here is 11. So that is the height of these characters that we're looking at. So we can increase it and we can reduce it depending on what you desire. So these are things that we're going to be looking at here, and we're going to be dealing with them one after the other. We're also going to be looking at the bold effect, the italics, the underline, the strike through. This is subscript, and this is superscript. So we're going to be looking at all this in this video. So to increase the font size, you can come to this place and change the size, or you use these two buttons. So this first one is used to increase, and if you look at the letter, it's a bit bigger than the other one. So that tells you that you use the bigger one to increase and the smaller one to decrease the font size. So these are things that you need to know. Then also, if you look at this, it's talking about change case, and that is what you use to change the case of your text, either from uppercase to lowercase or from lowercase to uppercase. We have other cases like sentence case. You have the first letter of the sentence to be capital, okay, while other ones will be small letters. Lowercase, everything is going to be, lower case. They're going to be small letters and things like that. So the uppercase will have everything cap. But when you say capitalize each word in the sentence, the first letter of each word will be capital. So we need to understand that. Now the toggle case is the direct opposite of that. Okay, so you see that the first letter is small while others are capital. So these are things that you can do with your change case. Okay, so we also have other ones. We have text effect and typography. When you click the drop down button, you're going to see different effects that you can give to your text. Okay, so you want a shadow for your text, you have different things that you want to apply to it. You can do it using your effect. So also we're going to move to the next one, and that is the text highlight color. What do you use this one for? Let's say you want to highlight a particular area of your document. You just want to highlight it for the purpose of drawing attention to it. Now, people use it when they want to draw their attention to that particular text. Probably maybe there's something to deal with on that particular sentence and they don't want to forget, so they highlight it so that when they see, they will know that there's something to still do on that text. So people use it for different reasons, you understand? So you can make use of it. So when you click the drop down button, you see different colors that you can make use of. Okay, so this is the text highlight color. Then we go to the next one, which is the font color. So this is what you use to give your text colors. Okay, so you can give a color to your text by using the font color. Okay, so this last one is the clear all formatting. So all these things are formatting features. So if you apply all these things to this text, and at the end of the day you don't want any of those things on the text again, you can simply click clear formatting to remove all the formatting you've applied to the text. So that's what this does. Don't forget that for you to apply any formatting to any text, the first thing to do is to select that text. So you must not forget that. That is very, very important. It is very, very, very important. So we're going to be looking at all those features one after the other. And the first one I want to deal with is the font. So how do we change this font to another font? And I'm going to be applying that to everything. So select all the text. You know how to select now using your mouse or your keyboard, whichever way. Okay. Then you go to your font, which I've shown you. Your font is under Home tab, because someone could be under Design and is looking for it. You won't find it there. You have to come back to Home tab. Okay. Then you come to the font group. Don't forget that we've dealt with the clipboard. Now we're dealing with the font group right now. Also, we're going to be looking at the paragraph group, some section of the paragraph group very soon. But we're dealing with the font group now. So I've selected this and I want to change the font of this particular text. So how do I do that? All I need to do is to go to the font. I'll click the drop down button there. As you can see, I have all the fonts on this system listed out here. Look at them. If you come to the first one, you see theme fonts. This is what I have by default. Can you see that? So the next one is Trebuchet, which is the recently used fonts, because I recently used this font, so it is registered here. So, but this is the list of all the fonts. Can you see them? So you can scroll down here by clicking the drop down button, or you drag the slider. Okay, the drop down bar, sorry, the scroll bar, sorry, not drop down bar, it's a scroll bar. So you can click the scroll bar, just drag it to see everything from the beginning to the end. So look at all the fonts we have on this system. You can have more. Okay, so how do you add more? You got to add some other fonts that you've downloaded from the from maybe a website or from a CD or wherever. So you can add more fonts. That doesn't mean that this is all that you can have. So when you get some systems, you'll notice that they have more fonts. Some came by default, but some were added by the users. So you can do the same. So now I'm going to start from the beginning. If you look at it now, I've selected the text. So I want to be moving around on those fonts. And you know, this is one of the effects we saw in that word option the other time. That when you are hovering on some features, it should show you a preview. So you can see the preview coming out to show you how it will look if you select it. So it's showing you beforehand so that you decide whether you still want it or you don't want it. So look at Agency FB. Look at the way it is. This is how it's going to come out. There's Algerian, there's area black, there's area narrow. Look at them one after the other. So you have to just move around within and check until you see the one you want. Okay? So for me, I can leave it at Berlin Sans FB. So look at the way it is now. But I've not deselected. So how do you deselect? Don't forget that you have to click outside of the selection. So once you click outside of the selection, you deselect it. Okay? But I'm not deselecting it because I still want to apply other formattings to this. Okay? So I've just changed the fonts, and right now I want to increase the font size. So let's play with that also. So you can play around the font, choose any font you want. You can change it as many times as possible. The only thing you need to know is that you need to select the text you want it to affect first of all before applying the formatting to it, before changing the font. So this is the font size. We have the array of the numbers in increasing order. Look at 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and the likes. So you can choose whatever you want, but I think 16 is okay for me. As you can see now, look at it, the size has increased. Can you see that? So don't forget that I said that you can use this to increase. Can you see? To be increasing. You can use this to decrease. You see? You have 16 there now. You can still reduce it, 14, 12. You'll be checking here and you'll be seeing that that number is increasing. Look at it. If I click here, it will be reducing. Can you see that? So that's what these two buttons will do for you. So I think I've been able to use the font and the font size now. I want to believe you can use it conveniently now with the buttons. Okay, that's very good. So I have 16 as the font size. That is the height of the character now. And I have the font to be Berlin Sans FB. So you can change it to whatever you want. It's not compulsory. You use what I'm using. Okay. Now, the next thing I want to teach you is to teach you how to add bold, formatting, italics, and underline to your work. Okay. So I'm going to deselect now. I don't want all these ones to be applied to all the text I have here now. I just want it to affect this first sentence. So let's say I want bold effect. That is, I want to add bold formatting to this. I'll highlight it. Don't forget, the first thing to do is to select what you want to focus on. That is, the man is waiting for me. Then you now come to click the bold formatting. As you can see now, you see it's bolder than the other ones. Can you see that? So that's what this does for you. Okay, so I've deselected. Now let me choose another thing. I can talk for myself anytime. I've selected that. Let's say I want to apply italics to it. I will select this. As you can see, it is now italicized. Okay, you can see it bending to the right. So it's a form of formatting. People use it to make that particular text different from the other ones, to draw the attention of people to it. That I'm trying to lay emphasis on this. You understand? So that's what people use it for. That doesn't mean that if you apply italics, you can't apply bold formatting to it again. You can apply the three together. You understand? Depending on what you want. So let's say I want to add bold effect to it. I can still add it. Can you see it? So, and anytime you select any of these, they are on and off buttons. You see that bold is now selected. Italics is selected, but look at this now. It's not selected yet. So if I want to off the bold, I'll just click the bold, and as you can see, it's no longer there. If I don't want italics again, I can remove it. And if you move away from it, you see that it's no longer selected. So, but if I click now, it's active, and you can see that it's already active. Italics, can you see that? So let me remove the bold formatting. Let me leave the italics. So I'm going to move on. I've deselected. Let's say I want to underline this. So I'll select it. Then the next thing I'm going to do is to come to underline. And see that? You click it, and you're going to have that. Don't forget that I said that you can apply bold, italics, and underline together. So if I want italics again, I'll still click, and I want bold, I'll click. Three together. Can you see all of them selected? So depending on what you want. Okay? So I know it will be getting interesting now, because now you can change the face of your text, the look, and all that. Okay, so now I'm going to remove the bold formatting, the italics. I'm going to have only underline. Now this underline has a drop down button. It means there's still something. So when you click it, you see different options that you can use. You can use double underline, you can use thick underline, you can use dotted underline, you can use dashed, different ones. Dot dash, dot dash underline. Then this wave underline, and you can say none. If you say none, it's going to remove the underline from it. Okay. Now again, you have underline color. You can choose the color of your underline. If you want it to be red, you can determine that. Okay. You want it to be yellow, you want it to be anything. You can do anything you want there. Do you understand? So play around the colors, and you can just do whatever you want. Now, okay, let me go back to the underline color. If you want more colors, maybe the color you're looking for is not here yet, you can go to, these are standard colors. You understand, the theme colors and the standard colors, but you can go to more colors if you want more. Look at them, plenty. So if you select any of them, it will show you here that this is the new, this is the current one, this is the current color, which is black, but this is what you want to change to. So if you say okay now, it will change it to this color. Okay, but let's choose a color that will come out. Can you see now? So if I click now, it's going to change it. Can you see that? So it has changed. So if you want to go back to do that, you know where to go to. Again, you go to the drop down button, come back to the underline color, okay, and you come to more colors. But if you don't want that, you can change it back to automatic. Automatic means the normal color, which is black. And see that? So if I want double underline, this is what I'm going to have. And see that? So, but if all of this, if you're not okay with them, you want something different from all this, you can go to more underlines. Okay, and right here now you can see many of them. Underline star, can you see it? So you can see more. So if I want something like this, I can select it. This is how it's going to look. This is a preview. If you want something else, you can click. This is how it's going to look. So if I say okay, that's what I'm going to have there. Can you see I've deselected? So just play around all these things, and you're going to see what you can achieve with all of that. Okay, so I won't believe that is very clear now, so you can make use of that. Okay, so the next thing I want to talk about is the font color. Okay, which is this. So let's assume that I want to make this, it cannot afford to wait further. Let's say I want to make it, I want to give it font color, maybe red. Look at it, it's already selected, so I can choose that. If I don't want that, I can come here, the drop down buttons to select out of all these colors. And don't forget I said you can choose from the gradient itself. Look at gradients, and you can choose from more colors. This will give you an opportunity to select one color, but gradient gives you an opportunity to choose mixed colors. Can you see? Look at the text, look at how it is. So you can play around all these things, and you know, I see them different colors. That if you want more gradients, you go to more gradients. So you know, go to gradient view, and right there you can now begin to select the preset you want. Look at different presets that are there. Can you see them? So depending on what you want, you have to determine what you want there. So when you come to the gradient, you can determine how it works here by dragging the slider. Can you see? Okay, you see that it's changing. Okay, so these are things that you can do. You can change the color of the gradient to red or whatever. Do you understand? You can change the transparency, increase it or decrease it, whichever way. You can change the brightness. Just play around all this. Okay, play around it. Solid fill is different. It's to select just one color. Okay, but that one color, you can choose red, but determine the transparency. You can drag the slider or increase it or decrease it here. Okay, as you drag in the transparency, you see that it's fading out until you won't see anything again. So the higher the transparency, the lighter the text, the lighter the color, sorry. Do you understand? So these are things that you need to understand. I hope you get what I'm saying. So get it right. Okay? So we're going to move on now. And the next thing I want to show you, I'm going to close this because I don't need it again. So you now know how to add your text color. Okay, so choose any one you want from here. Okay, and if you don't want any color again, you don't want any color, sorry, you want automatic color that is black, you just go to automatic and just choose it. If it's white, but if you choose white, it means you won't see anything because your paper is white, so you can't print something white on it and it will come out. So these are things that you also need to understand. I hope you're getting it. So that's that about that. So I've been able to add the text color now, so you know how to do that right away. Now let's move on. I want to teach you the next one, which is the highlights, text highlight color. Let's say I want to draw my attention to this. Maybe there's an error there and I want to come back to you later. I can highlight it. See, it's yellow, but you can choose any color you want to use to highlight. Okay, as long as you can see it clearly. So I would like to use this yellow. I prefer it. Some people use green and all that, just to flag it or to draw the attention of people to it. When people see it, they'll see it. So these are things that you need to understand. I hope you're getting it now. And when you print, this is going to come with it also. The highlight color is going to come out like this. So you must understand that. So that's what this one does. Okay. The next one I want to talk about is the change case. I'll use this as an example. Don't panic at all. Can you see this? So I've selected it. I'm going to come to change case. If I say sentence case, look at it. The first letter is capital, but everything is small. But if I go to lowercase, it will turn everything to small letters. Can you see that? See everything now. If I select it and I say uppercase to change everything to capital. Then if I say capitalize each word, the first letter of each word will become capital while others will be small. If I say toggle, the first letter will be small while others will be capital. So you need to understand that. So you can play around all these things and you will understand it better. So I prefer to use sentence case this time around. I only need the first letter to be capital while others are small letters. So I hope you're getting something from here now. So you now know how to make use of all of this. Now, what is this? Strike through. Let's say you've been working, but you just want to, maybe later you're thinking maybe you should take off this don't panic at all. That's what you're thinking you should do. But you want others to help you check before you remove it. You can strike it. So it will be there that it's been struck out. So people look at, okay, is it supposed to be there or not? If it's not supposed to be there, you can now delete it at the end of the day. So people use it for different purposes. So you can do that. I hope you're getting it. So that's what this one does. So that's strike through. So you know how to use that now. Then let's talk about the text effects and typography. Let's assume that I want the school has resumed. I want to add this effect to it. Look at it. If you look at it very well, the text has changed. Look at it, it's changing. Can you see that? So you can use any of this if you want it to be artistic and all that. So you can use any of them. I hope you get what I'm saying. So these are things that you can, make use of and all that. Okay, this is the outline. If you look at it, it will affect the lines of the text. Do you understand? If you look at it now, it's changing the text, so giving you an effect. So you can just move around to check it. Do you understand what I'm saying? So if you want the weight to be bigger, you come to weight. That is, you want the effect to show more. Okay? So depending on what you want, you can change it to dash and things like that, depending on what you want. Okay? So this shadow, you want it to have a shadow. Any type of shadow you want, you select. If you want it to be inner or outer, these outer shadows, it will take it out. But if you want it inside, it will be these ones. Now if you want perspective, as you can see, you see a shadow under it. Try it and you see what I'm talking about. Can you see the shadow? Look at it. Look at this. So try it on your own also, and you're going to see that you can also choose the shadow options where you're going to see more options. Okay, so try them out. So this reflection, you can have a reflection under the text. Can you see it? It's reflecting now. Can you see that? Can you see that? Can you see that? So different reflections depending on what you want. Look at glow. You can have glow. You see different effects and all that. Depending on what you want, play around all these things. I'm just to show you so that you can move around it, trying different options and stuff like that. You can also go to glow options to get more glow options. Okay, so I think that's that about that. So I've been able to teach you all this. I've taught you this, I've taught you this, I've taught you this. So it remains these two, and these two are very important as well. the subscript and the superscript. Okay, let me just apply one of these so that at least we'll know that we applied one. Okay, so I'm going to click now. Let's assume that I want to type x squared. How do I do that? Now, what people will do is to type x2. This is not x squared. So how do you achieve it? You achieve it by using that superscript. So after typing x, the next thing you're going to do is to click, can you see superscript? And now it's going to take it up. And you now type 2. Can you see it now? That's what superscript does for you. Okay? Or let's say now, undo. When you're done, to take the insertion point back to the normal state, you have to off it. Because if you keep typing now, let's say I want to say x raised to power 2 plus x or 2 plus y. That's how I'm going to do it. But for how to continue now, I have to switch this off. So let's say I want to say plus, or let me put a space before plus. Okay, y raised to power, I will now click this, then I'll say x plus 6, something like this. So if I want to stop it, I don't want it to be on the superscript, I'll off it. Can you see that? So that's how to generate that. Now let's check subscript, which is the final one there. So how do you generate this? You see 10 base 2, you understand, or 6 base 10 and all that in logarithms. How do you generate it? Let's say 6 base 10. This is what some people will do. It will not work. So how do you generate it? You type 6 first of all, alright? Then you use subscript. Then you can now type the 10. Then you can off the subscript and now type plus, let's say 5 base 10. You stick on your subscript, then something like this. Then when you're done, you still have to off it. If not, it will continue. Then you space it, then you say equals, let's say 24. So that's how it's been done. I hope you get what I'm saying. So I want to believe I've been able to teach you how to use all these features within the font group, so you can use them now. So if you notice, you see that the effect I applied to the school has resumed is still on these other ones that are under it. So how do I remove it? All I need to do is to select them and go back to displays and say, I applied glow to it, so I can say no glow. So if I say no glow, it will remove it. So that's the way to do it. So if you don't want this highlight again, how do you do that? You select it, then come to your text highlight, then you come to no color. You see it's going to remove it. The same goes for every other one that you've done. You select it. If you don't want it again, you go to text, then you select automatic. Do you understand? To remove it. So that's that about that. So now the last one, which is the clear all format. All the things I've done, if I want to remove everything once, I only need to click here and everything will be removed. So let's try it. As you can see, okay, you know why this one is affected alone? Because I selected it. So it will only focus on this one that is selected. Do you understand? So I won't do it. I want everything to be cleared. So now if you look at it very well, I said I wanted everything to be cleared, but I clicked without selecting everything. So only the paragraph that I clicked in was affected. So how do I clear everything? I'll undo again, then I'll select everything now. Then I can go to clear formatting. As you can see now, you see that all the formattings have gone. Can you see that? All the formattings. The only one that will not go is the text highlight, because you put that there to draw your attention to that. So these are things that you need to understand. And let me also show you the font. Okay, let me undo first to take it back so that our effort is not cancelled. So as you can see now, you see everything is still there. So the next thing is to show you the dialog box launcher, that is the font dialog box. So all the things we've been doing all the while, you can do them here as well. Look at the font, you can change your font here, and as you're changing it, you'll be seeing it here. Do you understand? So you can change the regular, the italic, the bold italics, whichever one you want. You can change the font size here also. See the strike through. If you want double strike through, many times people use this for Naira sign. So when you type N, you select the N. I'm going to do it for you shortly. Superscript that we were working with, subscript that we were working with, small caps, all caps, hidden. You can use all this. Okay? So these are things that you can also achieve here. And look at the text effect also. The ones that we saw there. Look at the text view. Okay? Look at the text outline. They are also here. Look at the effect, the shadow, you see all of them here. Can come back, see reflection, okay, see glow, and all of that. So when you're done, when you select anyone, you say okay, then you move away. I hope you're getting it. So just play around them. Mine is to show you how to do it, and you play around it. Play with many of them, and you see how they turn out. So I think that's that about that. The advanced is there, the character spacing, you see there the scale, the spacing itself, the position, and all of that. You can see normal, expanded, condensed. Just try them out. You see how they're going to look. You see the preview here. As you're changing them, you'll be seeing it. Look at expanded now. It's going to scatter a bit. If you say condensed, it's going to compact them. Okay, so these are things that you need to know. So if you say raised, it will push it up. If you say lowered, it will push it down. And if you say normal, it will bring it to the normal place that it should be. So these are things that you need to understand as you walk around all these things. So if you say set as default, do you want to set the default font this for this document only, or all documents based on the normal template? If you say this document only, it will affect only this document. If you want all the documents based on the normal template, then it will affect all the documents that you're going to open. But right now I'm not using this, so I'm going to cancel it. So this is what you need to understand when it comes to font and the various formatting features that we have. I'm sure you've learned so much from this, and some of you will be excited now that you can now play with all those things. You can change your font color, change your font size, change your font, do many things. So that's what you can achieve there. Now the last one I want to talk about before we go is the text alignment. If you look at this very well now, come to paragraph, under home tab, same home tab, then paragraph group. You see this 1, 2, 3, 4. You see the 4 of them? They are your text alignment tools. Currently, you see that this is on. This is align left. So you see that your left margin aligns, but the right margin does not align. So this is left align now. Align left. If you say align right, you're going to say, don't forget that before you can change anything, you have to select everything first, or the one you want to apply it to. So if you say center, it's going to push everything to the let's go. Can you see? See it? So if you say to the right, it's going to push it to the right. The right will align, the left will not align. But this one will make the two margins to be aligned. We call it justify. Can you see that? It justifies the two ends. So look at this place, right? Look at the other side too. So most times when you're typing projects and all other things like that, TCs and all that, this is what you use, justify, so that the two ends can balance. Okay, so that's that about that. So you can now begin to pick up things around you and begin to type them now that you know how to do all these things. Okay, so when next we meet in the class, I'm going to show you how to now use your line spacing. Okay, line spacing, but I think I should teach you that now right away too. When you click here, this is your line spacing. When you say 1, as you can see, the space between the lines would be increasing as you go down the line. Can you see that? It's giving it space now. So for projects that people submit, I mean thesis that people submit in schools, they always say it should be in 1.5 or 2.0. Okay, so that it can be well spaced. So these are things that you can achieve with this. I hope you get what I'm saying. Okay, so if you don't want anything, you step out. Okay, but most times 1.15 is what many people use, or 1.0, whichever way. So when you say 1.5, it means you're having your text well spaced, which is what some people use very well. So you have to decide how you want it to look, or the requirement for what you're trying to work on. So those are things that you can do. So I don't believe that you've learned one or two things from here right away now. Okay, I think I should teach you add space before paragraph and remove space before. If you look at it, at the end of every paragraph, when you hit enter key to move to another paragraph, there's a particular space that is generated. If you look at this place now, between you and I, you see a space that is generated automatically. So if you click here, the line spacing, you see that there's a space there already. But if you say remove space after paragraph, you see that that gap has been closed. Okay, so if I select it now, it's going to remove it. Can you see that they are closely packed together? So if I want to create, if I want that space to be there, I'll click here again. That is after this paragraph, I want a space. I will now come back here then say add a space. Can you see that? So I can also remove it. Then for me to use the other one, which is add space before, so I'll have to come to this paragraph, say add a space before this paragraph. Now I will now use this. So as you can see now, it has been spaced. I hope you get what I'm saying. So you can play around that now, and I'm sure you'll be excited that you've learned something very serious from this class now. Okay, thank you. So I'm going to see you in the next video.